Okay, so today is tomorrow as far as yesterday's video goes. Yesterday's video is almost finished uploading since yesterday. It's dated for yesterday, but will come out today. Today's video I'm recording before trying to go to work. I say trying. Yesterday I left the house. Everything seemed cool. And I headed to town. Missed my turn on the gravel. Didn't realize it until I had gone on to the next part of the road and was like, oh shit, now I'm gonna have to go around. But I noticed that there's one area of the road that had been saturated with water and flooding. The ditch wasn't well taken care of. The county had finally been out and dug out that ditch. So now there's some actual flood control. The reason I had missed my turn and had going another way on this particular route was that I've already been taking a detour because the main way that I normally take in has been under construction and still is. So then I went over the newly constructed road that used to be closed on the other direction of the turn at the end of the road, and followed that up and around and took the Beaverdale Road into town. On the way in, I had this odd feeling. I'm not sure, I've got to do some looking, but it's almost like what I guess aura would be described as in terms of like seizures or whatever. And I just had this feeling, this weird, cool lightness, and it was not pleasant. It was not, there was no, ooh, wow, like divine touch kind of, no, it was like, what the fuck is that? And so I just drove straight into work, and I got there, sat and had a cigarette, listened to some music, went inside, clocked in, got my bank, went into the back and started folding some pizza boxes. And after about 20 or 30 boxes, I just kind of turned and walked up to the front and went to the manager and was like, I think I need to go home. She just didn't even question. She says, okay. So I told her how I was feeling, and it was like this, I couldn't tell if I was going to pass out or be sick, but it was like this similar precursor to both. I was like, I'm going to go home and go to bed. And so it was like, okay. But so I went into work, and I was all ready for a Saturday night. I hope everybody else made killer money because I was all ready to make a whole bunch of money. And I came back home and I sat for a minute and kind of collected myself on how I was feeling, and then I went to bed for like 6 hours, and then I woke up and was up for about 3 or 4, and then I went back to bed for another 8 hours. I sweated a bit for an hour or two the first time I slept. It wasn't like I don't think I'm sick, like ill with anything. There's a different sense of that. What I'm coming to is the way my ears have been behaving, and remembering a few things that my ears had been doing off and on. I think it's some kind of hay fever. The pollen has risen, so I've got some goldenrod that I think I'm going to clear out on Monday from around the house to start with. But it was like by the time I got into town, my equilibrium was being messed with in my ears, so there was some sort of a ear closure instead of sinus closure. Typically I get sinus allergies, hay fever, sneezing, the itchy red eyes, and the eyes were, my eyes were kind of doing it. They felt puffy, and so my ears occasionally have been popping, and I'd attributed it to weather, the way the air pressure and everything else is done, and maybe that had a factor in it as well. But it's like everything just really lined up yesterday, apparently, as far as ways to make my head not want to work right. And I was like, I'm feeling all out of sorts just folding cardboard boxes. Like, I'm not sure about driving around town and handing people their food and stairs and stuff. So the video that's almost done uploading today, that you'll get before you get this one, in all likelihood, does not know, that guy in that next video that's going to upload first, that you're going to get before this, does not know that he's not going to make it through but about a half hour of work. I had stayed inside all morning and all day before going to work, and so I had no outside exposure to what the pollen levels or anything else were. That's the only thing I can think. It's that time of the year. It's the late summer. People are mowing their lawns all over the place because it's cool weather, and I just think all three types of pollen are in the air right now: the tree, the grass, and the flower. And so I'm going to take Benadryl before I go to work, and I'm going to bring Benadryl with me in case it wears off and it's still crazy out after dark. And hopefully I make it through, and just one Benadryl shouldn't give me medicine head. So that's the current update. Money's been pretty good, saving up. Got projects, vehicle stuff. Just going through days trying not to break the truck and make the money, and I don't know, I don't want to say I feel like I'm on fast forward. I'm just being real careful and particular. Not really talking about anything with anybody, and occasionally here and there, but outside work context. And just trying not to have a widely public reputation similar to what I had before, and see how long it takes for people to forget. Until such time as they realize that that's who I am, or that I was right. But a lot of them won't realize that I'm right. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, the Dark Tower sense dimness. I just kind of dim myself. Some people recognize me, some people don't. And some of the people that recognize me say something, and some of the people that recognize me don't. And I typically don't, because I am working on not being a stand there and talk person. So I've had other people try and keep me talking. I'm like, well, gotta go, we're busy, bye. Which is an odd feeling to be the one doing that. Instead of the other way around. So, yeah, I don't even know what yesterday was about. For all I know, there was an event somewhere. I'll find out when I go in tonight if there was some crazy event or something that helped me avoid. But it really felt like there was some kind of an allergic thing going on, but it had this weirdest fucking manifestation. It was weird. And the thing was, there's a kid at work that said something about he had a seizure the other day, and he was like, yeah man, I feel you. And so I don't know what, did I have a fucking petit mal? Was that what that was? Or, you know, like, I have no idea. So I'm gonna be paying attention to that, I guess. In other news, as I've already mentioned, April Fools through Friday the 13th. So now that that's all done, what I have here is, in the time that I've been working this new job, I've made enough that I can start doing things like this. Here is my old wedding ring. Inside this old wedding ring is $100. Reason for that is, the day that she left, she handed me a C note, literally a penny, and said, I'm sure you'll figure something out. So here I am figuring something out. I don't think I have anything else. This is going to be a shorter one, keeping it right at 10.